Hello everyone, Jolene Ann from Chill Lifestyles. Okay, so we're going to do a yes or no pick a card reading this week. So we're in the full moon period. It's also lunar eclipse season has started. If you've been watching any of my shorts, you would have seen it was quite funny because this week I had said that there's going to be a lot of emotions and perhaps a lot of water. And the night of the first night of the full moon, we literally had the worst thunderstorm and a huge downpour of water. But anyway, we all survived. I also had an interesting thing this week where I found a chameleon in my garden. And, some people might think, well, duh. But I actually haven't seen a chameleon for many years. In fact, last time I saw a chameleon was probably 5 years ago. And the time before that, in the garden, I think it's actually been since childhood. I cannot remember when last I'd seen a chameleon. Maybe I just don't look. But the interesting thing is that I always believe there's always, the divine is always finding a way to talk to you. And sometimes it's through the cracks in the walls, to your roof leaking, to an abundance of ants. There's normally some kind of sign and symbol behind that. And so look it up. It's always something where they're trying to warn you or tell you about something or bring your attention to something. So, chameleons for me is either, see what's right in front of you, because sometimes the truth is hidden in plain sight. Chameleons, as far as I'm concerned, are about change and adaptability. So it could be a sign to say to people that the truth is hidden in plain sight, so don't believe what you are told. Question everything in your life and look for the truth, and dig deep to find it. I also feel like the message to you is that change is coming, but you have to adapt to the new. The old is gone. This is about new world, new life, new way of being. So anything that you are holding on to, any old belief systems, any old, anything that's old and stagnant that you have not researched many times over and over again to figure out the truth, even science. Don't believe the scientific facts. Okay, if you're not a scientist, you might have to, but then consult and speak to other scientists. Because again, it's only proven until someone can disprove it. Okay, so this is just, I kind of feel like this is the message that you're all needing right now. Okay, let's get into it. Right, pile number 1. This is with a rough rose quartz. Pile number 2, this is an obsidian. Pile number 3, this is a red jasper. And pile number 4, this is a bloodstone. Okay, so pile 1, 2, 3, or 4. Choose your pile, pause the video, and I'll get you now. Welcome if you chose pile number 1 or the rose quartz. Right. So pile number 1, there's a lot of fire in this pile. Okay. Clubs are fire in tarot, and they represent passion. They represent, well, let's think about it. Fire can illuminate things. Fire can cook. Fire can be very handy. It can warm you up. But too much fire can also destroy. Okay. And what I'm getting here is whatever the situation you're asking about, there's a lot of passion. So this could be a job. This could be a relationship. There's a lot of passion in this situation. Fire is also very fast moving energy. So if it's love, and please adapt it to whatever your situation is. I'm just giving you an example. You and a person passionately met each other. And it became so passionate that you kind of started to believe that that was love. Because surely this feeling is so strong, it must be love. But sometimes it's an addiction to the passion. It's an addiction to the highs. And so then you get the lows, and then you get addicted to the highs again. So we fight and we make up. And the make-up sex is sometimes better than the fighting. And so this is a cycle of when there's things that are very passionate and you held on and you were trapped and you felt like you had to carry on because the passion was there, and surely that must mean love, but it doesn't. Okay, people often have abusive relationships because it's passionate, right? And then they excuse the person's abusiveness as passion. Well, they're so passionate about me, that's why they do that for me. False. Okay, love is patient, love is kind. There's nothing there about sex and throwing each other against the wall and fighting and sex and fighting and sex. It's patient and kind. Real love is slow, it's kind, it's nurturing. You feel protected and you feel safe. In passionate relationships, you're always on edge because you never know when the next fight's going to come, or the next breakup, or the next cycle, or what are they going to... And sometimes you get addicted to that fighting because it's adrenaline, right? So this power, whatever it is, and this could even be work. I see a lot of travel, a lot of movement. Maybe you've moved from place to place to place. Maybe you've, things moved very fast in a career, and there was a lot of passion for it, and it felt really good. And, you felt really happy and passionate again about your job. Problem is, I kind of feel like you ultimately feel like lonely, or even there's something here about, in the long term, you still feel poor, you still feel left out, you still feel lonely. Okay. And so what I'm getting here is that it's time to move away from something, because we do have a big ending and then a big new beginning, and it's quite big. And I kind of feel like learning the difference between passion and love is different. Or, you can love your job, but not be so passionate about it that it engulfs you. So there's good things coming, pile number one. Don't stress, whatever's going on. This is a no, but I feel like it's the most positive no that you can get. This is what's best for you. No. Okay, whatever that is. Because I do feel like there is something really great, love or success, something that's very powerful, something that's very charismatic, that's coming in for you after this situation ends. Okay, and this is something that's perhaps more in alignment with you. And again, maybe not so passionate, but it's more true love or true emotions, or something that's truly for you. With the Two of Cups, it's kind of truly for you after a massive ending has changed. But again, I feel like you held on to something because you thought in your mind. What is missing here is exactly that, the thought card. So we have very little money in this pile, and we have very little swords, which is the spades, which tells me the passion has overridden the thought. So you've got your heart in your head, and your passion or your addiction to drama has overridden the mind, and the mind knows what it has to do. And this is not grounded. It's not grounded. So again, you may have been so passionate about something, but you're still not making money. It's because the heart is missing and the head is missing. And that's why you can't ground this down into reality. If it's a relationship, yeah, your mind has told you the truth, but you've allowed your passion and your addiction to the passion to override any kind of mental clarity in this situation. So it's a no. Thank you. Hello, welcome to pile number 2 if you chose the obsidian. Okay. Pile number 2. I feel like there is a balance that is needed here. We've got the Three of Pentacles and Six of Pentacles, which is very much the card of balance, of teamwork, working together to make something happen, okay? And it's also about becoming more stable. When we see the Jack of Pentacles in any reading, the Jack is a very slow, stable person. He takes his time. In fact, he doesn't make any fast moves because he wants things to be stable, truthful, honest, loyal, okay? But they're not fast, radical, passionate people that fly in and then also they get bored and fly out again. So there's something very stable about your question. But it's about teamwork. It's about taking responsibility or taking over perhaps your budget, or taking responsibility for equal give and take, learning what teamwork is, learning how each person can help in a situation, how we all take responsibility for our part in a team. Okay. what I am getting very little in this reading is very little, let's think. You've got quite a lot of pentacles, which is about groundedness, a fair amount of hearts, the passion. There seems to be less passion in this pile. So like pile number one was very passionate. This one seems to be less passionate, a lot of thinking, a lot of groundedness. Okay, so this one's overly thinking. This one has a lot of overly thinking about money, or overly worrying, or overly, there's a lot of thoughts, worry, grief in this pile, sabotage, someone not being very honest, someone not being very responsible. Okay, but it needs to be, there needs to be more heart, there needs to be more compassion, or there needs to be more working within the heart in order to gain stability. There is a new emotional beginning for you, okay, which is the good news. And stability and things like that are definitely coming in. There seems to be a little bit of boredom or not seeing the truth. Now, as I explained with the chameleon that I saw this week as a big sign, if you skip the intro, chameleon is really about also, it's about change, adapting to the change. The world's never going to be the same, okay? So how do you adapt? How do you, make lemons out of a lemonade out of lemons? How do you go, well, I can't afford that anymore, how can I make my own? There's so much back to roots, back to growing your own fruit and vegetables, making your own shampoos, making your own conditions, soap, food, blah blah blah. How do I adapt? Okay, also, it's always there in plain sight. A lot of medicinal herbs are in your garden. Just giving you examples of what the chameleon could mean. You've got change here is quite a relevant thing. So learning how to change your passion, change your ideas, not be so stuck in the mental part of life. Okay, learning to work with the heart chakra, which is very powerful, and less with the mind. Okay, because your mind in this one is overriding your heart. Okay, the answer to your question is a yes. Okay, but you need to be more connected with the heart and with your passion than perhaps with mental stability, because when your mental capacity overrides, you're trying to bring in stability. That's kind of what I'm feeling. You want something stable. So whether it's a relationship, you want a stable relationship, but there's too much arguing, too much not being on the same page, too much, we have different viewpoints. We don't see things. There's sabotage, or someone who's, again, please don't accuse anyone of anything. I'm just putting the word cheating, or trying to get away with very little. Not enough teamwork, okay? So in order to make this happen, we have to become more heart-centered, or choose what's best for your heart, if that helps you. The answer is a yes to whatever your question is. There is a new beginning coming up for you that's more heart-centered, that's more emotional. It's good news that is coming, and it will help deal with the worry, the anxiety, the depression, the boredom that you may be going through. But I kind of feel like you need to decide on whether your current situation, how can you change, if you can change, or should you move on from something that's, teamwork, working together, planning budgets together, coming together, and collaborations. There's definitely a need for collaboration, need for solid, stable, and loyalty, because we do have, something with integrity. You may be asking if someone, if someone will be loyal to you, and the answer is yes. This person, this specific question is yes. You may be asking, is it time to leave a circumstances? Then the answer is also yes, because there's something more loyal, more integrity, slow and steady, but more steady waiting for you. The answer is yes. Pile number 3, if you chose the red jasper, then this is your pile. Wow. Pile number 3, this is very interesting. So you've got a hell of a lot of pentacles and hearts. So hearts and pentacles are very slow moving energy. Okay, so there is something coming in, something really important coming in, and it's been so slow at arriving. Okay, but there's good reason for this. I kind of feel like you needed to move on and leave a situation behind that was just done, okay? This was someone who didn't know what they wanted, someone who there was third party, or someone who was not committed. And I kind of feel like you held on to something or an idea or held on to money very tightly, because you wanted to achieve stability with all the pentacles here, definitely wanting stability. That could mean money, riches, a stable relationship, something that you can trust. But also at the same time, I kind of feel like what you were holding on to was not holding on to you, okay? So you had to move on. You had to let it go. You had to move houses, move jobs, whatever. Because now you want something that's more in harmony. You want to work well with someone. Now, for some of you, I'm just going to throw it out there. There could be someone returning that you had a big fight with and fallout with from the past. This could be a friend, family member. It doesn't have to be lover. Everyone always goes, oh, my ex is coming back. Well, ex-friend, ex-family member you haven't seen in a while that you had a fight with that's coming back. An old friend from childhood that you haven't seen in ages. 20, 30, 40 years, depending on your age, could be coming back. And this person wants to work well with you to overcome your obstacles, or they might somehow help you overcome your obstacles, okay? And I kind of feel like this person may have let you down in the past before. So you're not too sure if you can trust them. But I do feel like this person is unexpectedly coming your way in order to really help you. And you should just consider what they have to offer, allow them to place all the chips on the table and take your time again. Because what is missing from your pile is a lot of passion and a lot of swords. So fire, there's a lot of heart, a lot of love, a lot of stability, but not a lot of passion. So this may be a relationship, for example, that's you have a lot of love for them, but you don't, there's not a lot of bedroom activities. It's more love and nice and kindness and romantic, but not extremely passionate. Or you're worried that your heart is taking over your head, and sometimes you just got to go with the heart, okay? So your heart needs to overrun your head, or maybe you just need to sit and think about it a little bit in order to ground it down more. I don't know what this may be for you. Everyone's different. I do feel like it's a wish fulfillment. This is something you've been wishing for a long time. Again, a long, long, long time. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Ten of Pentacles tells us it's going to be grounded. It's going to come in and it's going to be quite solid. Okay, Ten of Pentacles is that of perhaps an inheritance that you get, winning the lottery, marrying a rich man, Also, it's about stability, you investing in something. You could be starting to study today, and in 10 years' time, it will pay off. Okay, it's not really, again, there's this long, slow and steady wins the race. Okay, cutting out the illusions, cutting through fighting and people who are not investing in you, learning where to invest your time, energy, and effort, learning skills, gaining knowledge. All of that is going to help you get to the Ten of Pentacles, okay? It doesn't mean you depending on your age, depending on how long you've been working on this, it could mean you right at the beginning, you in your 20s, then this is saying, in your 30s or 40s, it's going to pay off either way, okay? You can trust this. It is honest. You can trust it. If you're pregnant, I don't really do that. I would go get a pregnancy test, because the answer to your question is yes, okay? It could be about a man, it could be about love, it could be about money, because there's a lot of hearts and pentacles here. There's not a lot of thinking, there's not a lot of stress, there's not a lot of anxiety, because I kind of feel like you're moving away from that. The answer is a question. 444 is a sign for you as well. So when you see 444, that is a sign, more confirmation that this is the right thing, or yes, 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 go for it. If you're pregnant, go get a pregnancy test. I'm just saying. But yeah, the answer is yes. Whatever you asked. Thank you. Goodbye. Welcome to those of you who have chosen the Bloodstone or pile number 4. Right, pile number 4. You are very stuck in your head about something, and I feel like you are so trapped. Now, you're trapped by your emotions, but out of fear, because the heart leads the way. The head messes with the heart. So if we want to talk about which is ego, which is the devil, which is the angel is always connected to your heart. Your heart never lies, but your brain, your head, your mind, should I say, not your brain. Your mind, however, is very much connected to the devil in the cartoons I'm talking about, because the mind plays tricks. The mind keeps you trapped. The mind lies all the time. The heart never lies. So pile number 4, you are trapped within your thought. You are trapped within your emotions. You are trapped within your fear. You are trapped in a situation because of cruelty and manipulation, and you only can be in a situation with someone who's betraying you or negative or cruelty or malicious when they use mind games over you. Okay, so you are really dealing with someone who is using mind games, someone who's manipulating you, someone who's controlling your mind. Okay, and this is creating fear, it's creating stress, it's creating anxiety, and it's creating pain. Emotionally, you are in pain, which is why your heart will tell you it's time to change. You need a major get up and move, get divorced, go find another job. I'm not saying quit before you get another job, but definitely go out, get your CV out there ASAP, because someone is keeping you trapped emotionally in this situation. Just the end of that, really, because your troubles are almost over, but you have to remove yourself from this entrapment. Whatever this is, it's kind of like you are trapped by terrible thoughts, by terrible fears, by burdens. They're weighing you down. Your intuition, again, your heart and your intuition is what's telling you the answers, okay? You've invested. The problem is you feel like you've invested. So investments can be your time, energy, and effort into the situation. I have worked for this company for 30 years. They promised me that I would have this fantastic pension plan. And now I'm getting closer to the time, and they're changing their tune. And all of a sudden, I was going to get this, and now I'm not getting this anymore. But they emotionally manipulated me so much by this time that now I'm frozen in fear, because if I leave, do I lose all that I've been given? Even though they're treating me so badly, what do I do? That's the kind of situation, like you feel that. I feel so much from this pile, like this fear. I've been in this marriage for 40, 50 years. What do I do? Who am I outside of this marriage? This person and these people, they use this against you. Or who's going to want you? Do you honestly think someone else is going to love you with the way that you are? Yes, they will. Do you honestly think anyone's going to hire you at this age? If you ask God to help you, they will. Or invest in yourself, take yourself out of the situation and build your own business. It might have to be a side hustle, a hush-hush moment, somewhere there. But you're so trapped in your mind, you can't even see the light of day. So you are not connected to your heart, pile number 4, which is why you can't make a decision. Your heart never ever lies. So when you connect to your heart, the truth will come through. And even talking to you, I've had to take a couple of deep breaths. I feel like my heart is so tight, like I'm not breathing. Are you breathing? Because if you're having chest anxiety or heart flutters or whatever, then this reading is for you. And God is saying, get the hell out of this area, this job, this relationship, because it is weighing you down. And the sad thing is, on the other end of that is something that's more better, but I don't think you can see it. I'm literally watching your power. You start off with passion. So you and this person and this job, there was a thirst for knowledge. There was a thirst for passion. It was a highly passionate situation. You should probably go listen to pile number 1. I kind of feel like this could be for you. You and this person, you perhaps felt like this person was your world, but there was pain, there was stress, there was loss. Okay, you tried to vie for stability. You had to take time out, but it created depression. You felt like you needed victory and the strength, but your loyalty, I can't even talk. What is going on with you, pile number 4? Honestly, like my throat's closed up. But you carried on investing because you thought, if I keep investing, it's bound to pay off. But that investment kept you trapped. What you're needing is independence. But you can't gain independence because this person has just thrown more on top of you. So they've weighed you down. They've kept you trapped and stuck because they have emotionally manipulated you. And they could be saying words like, well, I love you. So what do you, go out there, but you're going to hurt me, or you're going to take everything away from me. Be very aware. There's something very dark about this pile. I'm sorry. And this is a heavy no. Okay? Very heavy no. I'm sorry. I have to tell you. Spirit guides and angels are begging you to please get out. Okay? Sorry. I have to be the honest person. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear. You have to hear this. Thank you and goodbye.